Mark, first off, I suppose let the listeners know a little bit about you.
Yeah, so my name's Mark. I come from Donegal. I'm a singer-songwriter and I've been releasing music since January 2023. I started releasing cover songs and posting videos on TikTok and generated a bit of traction there. People started commenting saying, oh, you should release this cover, and it was a cover of Love Really Hurts Without You. So we released that and it did quite well. It was my first release. I was very apprehensive about that, and then I just kept posting covers, and then somebody suggested for me to post a cover of You To Me Are Everything. Posted a cover of that and it got almost 1 million views, and I decided then to release that as well because the traction was there for that too. And then I felt like I was kind of finished posting or like releasing covers, so I knew in my heart and soul I wanted to get into releasing my own stuff. So in the following November, I think, of that same year, I released my first single, my first original single, and it's kind of been busy since then. I've been releasing loads of music since then, and yeah, then last year I kind of made a pact with my brother and we sat down making our New Year's goals like we usually do. So we sat down and we started talking about the goals that we have, and he told me that the next step for me is to do a headline show, and I was so scared of that whole idea. Like, am I going to sell tickets? Like, how does that even work? What do I do to even organise it? And yeah, I just sent the email and I booked the Whelan's show last May. Sold out, which was mad. And just around that time, MCD got in touch, so we put on another show in November, and that happened to sell out as well. So
wow.
Yeah, that kind of brings us up to now.
How did you first get into music? I suppose, like, what sparked it? What was that something that said, oh, I'm actually quite good at this? How did that happen?
Yeah, so like music's a really big part of my family. My mum sent us all to piano lessons growing up, and yeah, I played the fiddle at one stage. I got a banjo for Christmas one year, and yeah, music's just been like the focal point of our family just for as long as I can remember. I have 3 siblings, and I'm kind of the only one that actually took the music and like actually did something with it, because I have such a strong passion for it. And yeah, so I started writing my own stuff, and yeah, I feel like it's just the way I was brought up, it was always through music, and I feel like yeah, it's just such a focal point of my life.
Who do you look up to now when you're writing and performing your music?
I have a few influences. I feel like the first most prominent influence for me, given my background in piano, I did all my grades in piano and it's my first instrument, would be Lewis Capaldi. I've been listening to Lewis since he started years ago. I went to his concert in the Olympia in 2019, and yeah, I've just been a huge fan of his, and I feel like the music that I really love to write is piano ballads, similar to his style. And it's only recently during COVID, whenever we were all trapped inside, that I picked up the guitar and started teaching myself guitar, and I feel like that kind of helped my songwriting and kind of made my songwriting a little bit more diverse. Like, I wasn't sticking to the piano ballads. Whereas I feel like my music now is kind of morphed into kind of a mixture of both. Like, I love writing piano ballads and I love also writing a nice, good, upbeat guitar tune as well. Kind of similar to the likes of Noah Kahan or Miles Smith. Like, I look up to those guys a lot as well. But yeah, obviously there's the other musicians, like the older musicians like Billy Joel. I love his music, and the likes of Elton John. Like, they're definitely a big influence on my kind of writing styles as well. I feel like I'm very diverse. It's kind of hard to find like my actual sound in a way. Yeah, I'm kind of still working on that.
How would you describe your style of music? What do you pull to more?
I feel like at the minute I'm kind of pulled more towards the acoustic guitar singer-songwriter vibe, because I feel like that's quite current, and the kind of folky pop aspect of it now. I feel like trad is becoming really popular again. I feel like it's always been popular, but I feel like it's really come back now, because I remember when I was growing up, I played the fiddle and I didn't have a real positive attitude towards it, but now I love it.
Your track Dawson Street is one of the reasons we're chatting. Tell us a little bit about it, and is there a personal story behind it for you?
So I wrote Dawson Street about 2 years ago. It's actually one of those songs that I wrote and changed about 5 times. I kind of revisited a few times. It wasn't just like a sit down and I finished the song. It kind of was a bit of a work in progress for a couple of months, kind of song I kept dipping in and out of. So the idea of the song comes from myself and my girlfriend have kind of like a High School Musical story. We met in college. We both did the music specialism in college, and we ended up going on a night out with the music specialism. We went for a karaoke night, and we went to a karaoke bar called Maneki on Dawson Street. I suppose that kind of sparked the idea of writing a love song. I didn't want to write like your typical love song. I wanted to kind of come at it from a different angle, so I wrote it in a way where you're imagining life without that person and how awful it would be. It's basically a heartbreak song, but I wrote it from a place of love, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully I got my point across.
It makes perfect sense.
The reason I actually picked Dawson Street that time is because we actually ended up singing a song together. Don't Stop Believing was the song we sang, and yeah, the rest has been history. You know, that was one of our first nights out that we proper like spoke. So yeah, it's a nice memory to have. So I kind of wanted to kind of play on that idea too and bring Dawson Street into a song. And
I found you on TikTok. You have nearly 40,000 followers, which is pretty huge. But how important do you think social media is for an artist nowadays, and what did it do for you when you were starting out?
In the modern day, like, social media is really important. Everybody's on social media, everybody's swiping every day, and it is just part of the modern culture now that you have to have that online presence. Like, if you think of any artist, like Lewis Capaldi, as I mentioned, or any artist, they all have a strong online presence, and it is just kind of the way the world has evolved, I suppose, and the music industry has evolved. So it is really important to have that online presence, and I feel like it's really important to kind of develop a meaningful connection. I feel like I tend to use the likes of TikTok and Instagram as kind of just a tool to help me get to where I want to be, rather than kind of relying on it, because like there's a lot of politics or whatever involved in like numbers and getting views, and sometimes videos don't do well, and you know, that's just the reality of it, and it's hard to know how the algorithm works. I don't think anybody knows how the algorithm works, to be honest. But yeah, it's just kind of developing meaningful connections with your followers, I suppose, and once you've kind of gotten the followers on board and the listenership, you're kind of a lot of the way there, if you know what I mean. So you can put yourself under pressure posting videos and hoping that they'll do well, and then they don't do well, but you kind of just have to ride the wave and kind of hope for the best and just be persistent, I suppose, and consistent with what you're posting. And yeah, it is a bit of a minefield. I don't really understand it myself, but we're here anyway. So.
I mean, it's working for you, so that's all that matters.
Yes, hopefully it is. Yeah, it does seem to be making some sort of connection. So yeah, it is good.
And you have performed in many incredible places that other artists would probably die to play. Like you said, you've performed in Whelan's, and you have just recently opened up for Maddox Batson in the Olympia, and the Olympia is a massive, massive gig. But where has been your favourite gig to date?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Now the Olympia just passed. It was absolutely incredible. Like, that was one of my goals that I wrote down at the start of the year, which was really cool to tick the box. It was amazing. It's such a bucket list thing. So that's definitely up there. But I feel like last year when I did decide to put on the Whelan's show, it was my first ever headline show, and that was a really special thing for me to do. And the fact that it sold out was so meaningful, and so I was really taken aback by it, and the show went really well, and it was such a good night. So I feel like that'll always have a place in my heart, that first headline show that I did in Whelan's. And yeah, Whelan's is a really special place. It's unreal. I've been to loads of gigs there myself, and yeah, between that gig and I loved the Academy gig that I did as well back in November. I also did a nice little intimate show at home, so I kind of wanted to give something back to the people at home, so I organised a little intimate gig at home, and that was really special too. But yeah, I feel like the Whelan's gig that I did this time last year was one of my main highlights.
And you have just announced that you're heading back to Whelan's this year. The tickets are on sale, I'm assuming.
So they're on sale, yeah. So yeah, it's in November 7th.
And what else can we look forward to for 2026 other than the big Whelan's gig?
So yeah, I have lots of more music. I've been writing loads, and I've been working in the studio a lot. So I have a lot of songs kind of sitting in the archives that I can't wait to get out there. So definitely more music is on the cards, and I suppose you never know where I might end up between now and November. I suppose it's hard to know. It's kind of an industry where you don't really know what's coming next, and you kind of just have to ride the wave, I suppose. So. And
finally, where can people find you on social media if they're looking to stay up to date with everything?
Yeah, so on TikTok it's Mark O'Donnell Music, and on Instagram it's Mark O'Donnell Music as well. I do most of my posting there, so you can find me there.